غرباء
Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Apologies to the brothers, as you can see I'm standing up because unforeseen circumstances I got late. So as Rasulullah mentioned, do not sit down until you pray. So I'll stand inshallah for this time. الحديث الثاني عشر عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من حسن إسلام المرء تركه ما لا يعنيه رواه الترمذي والنسائي وقال الترمذي حديث حسن صحيح. Hadith number 12 reported by Imam al-Tirmidhi and Nasai and classed as Hasan Sahih by Imam al-Tirmidhi rahimahullah on the authority of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, or as we mentioned Abdul Rahman ibn Sakhr, who reported narrated how many hadith?
3,652.
No, 5,374. 5374. Close enough. Who mentioned that Rasulullah said, from the perfection of a man's religion is leaving what does not concern him. For a man to perfect his religion, keep away from arguments, getting into matters that does not concern him, is the key way. And we quickly understand how this one little small hadith, a few words uttered by our Rasulullah, if we were to implement it, how many problems would be solved in our community? How many problems would be solved if we didn't involve ourselves with that which does not concern us? Whenever something happens, whether in your family or with your friends, if it doesn't concern you, don't get involved. If you know that this matter doesn't have anything to do with me, doesn't affect me in any way, then follow this hadith, don't get involved. Because we've all experienced, when we're talking about something and another person jumps in, how frustrating it is, and shaitan quickly uses that against him. And that causes animosity between brothers. That look, has nothing to do with you. So we should always try our best to keep away and don't concern ourselves with what doesn't affect us. And when we on the other side and someone comes and tries to get himself or herself into matters that don't concern them, we should respectfully either mention this hadith or say to them, brother, you shouldn't get concerned or be concerned about these matters because nothing to do with you. And this is the major flaw that not only we have in community, but more so in families, emphasis on marriages. Because every problem that happens in a marriage between a husband and a wife, the Islam way, it's not to be mentioned to anyone. It is between you and your wife. It's between the husband and the wife to sort that problem out. Not for her to sit day and night and talk to all her sisters, or her mom, or her families about everything that happens. Everything that the husband does and says and they do. And we've all seen how disastrous that eventually becomes, because they only hear one side. So they would advise her one way and it would just build up from there. And it ends up even with matters of sihr, ta'weez and magic. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala safeguard us all. from all shayateen of ins and jinn. So it's crucial when it comes to families. Don't mention anything that's going on in your family to other people. Especially when it comes to marriage, husband and wife. Nothing is to be mentioned to either your own siblings or family, nor her ones. And if there are issues in the marriage that cannot be solved between the two, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ شِقَاقَ بَيْنِهِمَا فَبَعَثُوا حَكَمًا مِنْ أَهْلِهِ وَحَكَمًا مِنْ أَهْلِهَا إِنْ يُرِيدَ إِصْلَاحًا يُوَفِّقِ اللَّهُ بَيْنَهُمَا. And if they can't solve problems within their marriage, let him bring a representative, let her bring a representative. And so they sit down and solve the matter, and if the intention is pure, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will fix all their problems. And this doesn't mean that he brings his brother or she brings her brother. No. A hakim in this case refers to an alim, an ustad, someone who's not going to be biased, from both sides only. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it singular. You mention it to that one person that comes from both his side and her side to solve the matters, solve their problems, and that's the very last step. And even then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only mentions one person, indicating that anything that has to do with the family, marriage, family, friends, shouldn't just be talked about to everyone. There are matters to be discussed, and there are matters to keep to yourself. And one should be wise to know the difference between the two. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala safeguard us all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to act according to the teachings of our Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to earn His pleasure and the pleasure of His Rasul, so we can meet Him and we're not brushed away when we see Him, where the river of Kawthar would be in Yawm al-Qiyamah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show us mercy in this world and hereafter. Barakallahu feekum, sallallahu alayhi wa Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi.
غرباء